Hello and welcome to today's video tutorial. Today we're going to have a look at how to create a cue list. Okay, so under your record option, in your soft key menu you have the option to create a cue list. Okay, you can name it up at this point, and again the console is going to flash with any empty spaces. So the first thing we're going to do is assign the fader where we would like to build our cue list. Now the fader is now red and flashing. This indicates to us that we are in our record cue list menu and we are now building a cue list. At the top of the menu we can set our record mode. So you can record by channel fixture or stage, and you can change this per cue. Next we have a cue number, so I might want my cue number to start at 0.5 rather than 1. You can also then set a legend, so again I might want my legend to be preset. The append cue option here is for recording the cue, or you can hit the blue flashing button on the fader. You have a link to your shapes and effects. So if you want to use your shape generator or your pixel mapper, they're both here for you. Under the advanced options, we can renumber all of our cues, which will push them all back out to whole numbers. You can set cue numbers, and you can also select to auto-load live playbacks. Now this means that you can record by channel and fixture, and anything playing back live from your console will automatically be loaded into the cue. At the bottom we have the option to set the times for your cues. So you have a delay in, a fade in, a delay out, a fade out, and a fixture overlap. Again, you can set this per cue. Okay, so once you've set your options here, you can begin to build your cues. And once you're happy with your cue, hit the blue flashing button to record it in. Okay, now by default your cue list will be tracking, so if you want to black out now, remember to turn your dimmer values off instead of just hitting the clear button. The clear button will clear your programmer, but it will not put 0 values for your dimmer into that cue. Once you finish your cue list, press exit, and that will put your fader to normal for you. Okay, so now when I trigger off the fader, the cue list will become connected and the intensity will now be at full. So I can now use my red go button to begin to go on the cues of my cue list. Okay, you also get a go on your grey button of your cue list as well. When I pull the fader down, the cue list remains connected, so I need to say release and select the blue button to release the cue list. Under the playback options, there's a few handy little things for your cue list in here. At the top here we have the fade mode intensity. So currently the fader is becoming disconnected when I say release and select it. Now you can set it to automatically be killed at 0. So now it will connect when it hits the top, and when I pull that fader down it will automatically release itself without me having to tell it to release. You can also set your fader to be a manual crossfader. Okay, and here we also have our tracking options. So tracking is always on by default, but you can turn it off after you've completed your cue list. You also have your move in dark option. So again, this is by default always off, so your fixtures will not move in dark until you set this. Now you can set it to either move early or move late. You can also, since version 7, set the fader to fire the first cue for you. So now when I trigger off the fader, it will fire the first cue automatically. And now my fixtures will move in dark.